Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this from Bound into Comics. It's been a while since I visited this place. Well, anyway, Star Trek icon William Shatner roasts Paramount continuing attempts to memory hole Captain Kirk. Quote, it makes no difference to me that a group who think they are enlightened obviously feels threatened by the character, end quote. Yeah, this is obviously something that has been going on for years in Paramount. I don't know exactly when it began, but it began to be more noticeable, like absolutely on your face, smearing with shit level of absurdity, at least in the last couple of years, because they saw that William Shatner was too based for the audience that they are trying to pander to, especially with STD. No, not the sexually transmitted disease. No, not that one. I'm talking about the other STD. Star Trek Discovery. That one. Which is a very apt acronym for a very shitty show. Jesus Christ. That show. Obviously, there was J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, which made me slightly embarrassed to be a Trekkie, mostly on the second movie-ish. On the first one was okay, but the one that really made me feel embarrassed to be a Trekkie or a Star Trek fan was STD. Jesus motherfucking Christ. Now that was a bad show. This is what happens when you invite tourists, and those tourists decide to change Star Trek for their desires. And what made Star Trek completely eliminated. That is one of the worst TV shows on the world. There's also Rings of Power. That one is also bad. There's also Miss Marvel, that's also bad. There's Echo 2 coming up. Okay, it's one of the worst TV shows out there, but definitely one of the worst Star Trek shows out there. Even with the lower decks one in the middle. Anyway, let's go and cover this, shall we? They were the one to let the whining of even his most ardent critics get to him. William Shatner recently admitted that he is unfazed by Paramount's Plus ongoing attempt to erase his iconic Captain Kirk from Star Trek history, because simply put, he knows their petty attempts at doing so will have little, if any, effect over a well-established legacy as the franchise's first leading man. Yeah, there is a very good point being addressed here. I think his years of practice with dealing with retards, especially with George Takei and his simps, have definitely given him the know-how and the knowledge to deal with these retards. Especially also with the Paramount trying to erase him or minimize his work, even though the movie in which he sacrifices himself, that wasn't something I quite liked. The movie was good, I just don't like or enjoyed what happened to him. He should have went on and on. He's one of the best captains ever. JamesTKirk, a name that will forever live on. I knew. So he decided to troll them. Here's what he says. I think that the new movie with Sir Patrick is wonderful news and haters gonna hate. Replying to another guy, what do you think about all the negativity about Sir Patrick's announcement? There is a Picard movie scripts in the works. The only thing that worries me is if Patrick Stewart has any words into the script itself. If it does, it's going to end up like the Picard show first and second season. The third one apparently was okay because he had barely an input in the script, and apparently they hired somebody who knew Star Trek and knew the shit. Amazing, right? But either way, I didn't even bother to watch it. Let me just say that the new Trek, I stopped on the 5th episode of STD. That's as far as I went with the new Trek. And I don't think I'm gonna bother with it. But anyway, let's put a trailer here because it's a good place for it.
are 44. We are few. We are God's chosen knights. We are born of sin and crime. We are repentance personified. We are immortal. We are legend. We are God's wrath made manifest. And we know no fear.
I'm back, baby. Yeah. Right. So, decided to go and check out what he says and what is happening. And here's the tweet. I'll have to look at Paramount Plus graphics to answer that question. If we will ever see JamesTKirk or him again. And we look. The original series, we have Spock. Weird, right? Most of them, I think, most of them here are captains or etc. Except the lower decks because it's supposed to be, lower decks. And Geordi LaForge, here we see him mostly because I don't know why. Why I used him instead of, I don't know, Riker? Mostly because I think they need diversity in the thing. But fine, he's representing the next generation, and Picard, which is representing, well, the series Picard. I don't think they could actually put Picard on Picard again. Right. And then we have the Invaders, which is STD, bitch, and the garbage that is Lower Decks, and the one that wants to be Star Trek, but it's still not Star Trek, but it's still better than STD. But if we scroll down a bit, we see them fixing this garbage. And now it becomes a proper Star Trek poster. If we look here, now it is something that is worth the name Star Trek. Now we have Picard, Spock, Uhura, JamesTKirk, and everybody else, which we also have Scott Bakula. But why is he so tiny? He's a good captain. Archer, Jonathan Archer, he's good. Then we have Cisco and Janeway. Great captains, great series. Okay, series. Those were amazing. Good thing that the only thing we have here is the reminder of the new Trek is the Star Trek Picard clothing, but that's it. Everything else that we have lately is garbage for the new Trek. On that regard, that does explain why I'm definitely embarrassed of the new Star Trek. Well, anyway, back to the article, shall we? The reason it's championed by Spock instead of Kirk and cheekily told the fan. All I have to do is look at Paramount Plus to answer the question, which is exactly what I just covered. So, what they asked to the fans, taking note of a user subsequent question as to whether or not anyone at Paramount had ever come out with an official explanation for this massive flub. The actor retweeted their inquiry and revealed it's not the first time, it's going on for years. Exactly. I don't know when it began really to be, when it really began and when it became really noticeable, but lately it's very noticeable. Here we can see it's not the first time it's going on for years. It makes no difference to me that a group who think they are enlightened or whatever they think they are obviously feels threatened by Kirk's character. It's a character from the 1960s TV show. Get over it. Exactly. And before you ask, well, technically, no, wait. Well, yeah. Now that you mention it, there's multiple characters of the same TV show. Okay, what the fuck is this shit doing over here? I don't want to know. the monster next to Picard, I don't even want to know. But here is multiple characters of multiple characters from the same series on the same poster. But we can see here Archer is alone. There's no other character representing Enterprise. We have Spock and Uhura, but why not Kirk? It's literally right. I mean, you should have added Kirk in here. Why he's not here is just absurd. Then we have the monster that I do not know who it is. Picard, XTD bitch. The new captain that I just don't give a shit about. The lower decks that I don't give a shit about. Janeway, Cisco, and we have here 7 of 9, which is the same as on the Voyager. But why don't we have, I don't know, Odo? Odo could be here. I mean, why not? He's one of the best characters on DS9. Why is he not there? I mean, it's definitely a good example of what is going on. A good, very good example. Ah, fuck me. Well, anyway, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night. And remember, fuck you, YouTube.